Okay, let's do this fucking shit.
Y'all, welcome to another episode of Sitting Ringside. This is episode number 152. 152 episodes in, and we're still kicking fucking ass. Before we get started, quick shout out to Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Dustin Poirier and company sent me this because they're working with this company here. Badass. I love it. Thank you so much. Cop one of these. Go to their website. Buy yourself some of these. You're going to love it.
You can feel like a champion.
You can, man. And what's cool about it, they have, let's see, Louisiana style. If I can get it focused there on the camera. They have Creole maple. And the best one, KO edition.
KO edition, bro. I like that shit. And guess what? Pro tip for all you people out there that love hot sauce and happen to eat too much of it. If you do happen to eat too much hot sauce, use some milk on your butthole.
Yes. Mark almost spits his drink. Oh, shit. Well, as always, I am Robert Viet. Welcome to the show. And with me, my boys, David Rodriguez, Mark Andrew Miller, and of course, Rudy Lara. How's it going, fellas?
Opening the show up with a butthole joke. Boom!
Let's go. Let's go. Well, guys, another shout out to, of course, HKA USA. Can't stress enough, go to hkausa.com. Look them up on all social media. They showed so much love to Fightbook MMA. We show love back to them. Go and buy some gear. They deserve your money because they turn around and give back to a shit ton of fighters. So please support the locals. They are local. Go and check them out, HKA USA. A lot of fighters that I know use them. A lot of UFC fighters use them. We have a couple fighters that use our gloves that have the Fightbook MMA logo on there. So go and support them, please. Also to MMA TV, Sprinty, Fight, and ESPN Plus, and to all our partnered promotions that we are partnered with, XFN, Brave Combat Federation, and of course, our local promotion here in Albuquerque, Fight World MMA. I can't wait till next weekend, next Saturday, because I will be covering that event. It's going to be badass. It's their first Pro-Am event here in Albuquerque, and they're going to be at a new venue. That venue is sick. We are going to be the first promotion, well, we as in Fight World MMA, they're going to be the first promotion to have an event in that location. So I can't wait. It's going to be badass. And the only reason why I mentioned it now is because next Thursday, we are not going to have a show. It is Thanksgiving. All of us are going to be spending time with our families, except for Mark. Mark doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving because he's Canadian.
I did last month. That's a real Thanksgiving.
That's a real Thanksgiving.
You're not a real Thanksgivinger.
Right? You're not a real
my
Thanksgiving
God.
fan.
You're not
Oh
a real
my God.
Thanksgiving fan. Right on. Well, fellas, like I always do in the beginning of
Really,
each
David.
show, we're going to go through the whole list of events that's happening this weekend. It's jammed fucking packed. MMA, kickboxing, grappling, Muay Thai category. We're going to start off with on Friday, November the 18th, BKFC 33 Omaha, live on Fight. You can catch any Fight TV event. You can catch it on fightbookmma.com. Just click on the Fight tab and you'll watch these events live for free. Same with MMA TV. We always promote a lot of their live streams. We are exclusive to these live streams at Fightbook, so go and check them out. Friday, November the 18th, Bellator 288. 2 belts on the line. That's going to be a banger. It's going to be an early start for tomorrow. So go and check them out. Also, Combate Global. They're going to have their last event of the year tomorrow. So don't forget, Fightbook MMA, which is me. I will be doing the live results on the website if you can't catch it or you just want to know the results the next night. Also on Friday, one on Prime Video 4. That's going to be another banging of a card. So don't forget about that. That's going to be and the next 4 events are going to be on Saturday. Don't forget about that. Also live on the next 4 events. Mikenta Fight Night 5, Ignite Brawl, UNF 3, Francisco Rivera Jr. versus Cody Gibson. And of course, UFC Fight Night 215, Lewis versus Spivak. Now let's go ahead.
Also, don't forget, it already happened. So if you didn't watch every single minute of every round of CES grappling, our boy Tyler King, victorious tonight. He might, in fact, just jump on here later in the show. So shout out to Big TK, Big Brother, holding down business out there on the East Coast. And
Hell yeah.
I believe, what's the other events you, Rob? I mentioned earlier in the week, Game Bread Boxing returns, Jorge Masvidal's promotion. Pearl Gonzalez is competing on there.
Yes, she is.
Interested in seeing what's going on with Jorge Masvidal because you never know. We might just hear about a fight booking with him.
He's fighting Gilbert Burns next.
Maybe Gilbert Burns. Yeah.
No, that's who he's fighting next. I guarantee it. I'm calling it right now.
But
I'm sure it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but as far as the event rundown, if you're not watching every single second of every single round of every single minute of every fight this weekend,
you're not a real fight fan.
Let me finish the in the boxing category. On Saturday, we have Oklahoma Boxing and Combat Sports Fall Brawl 2 live on Fight. Also on Saturday, we have Hasim Rahman versus Greg Hardy. That's going to be live on The Zone. And live on The Zone in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. Jaime Minguya versus Gonzalo Correa. And last but not least, on UKBT Sports on Saturday, Liam Davis versus Inot Baluta. They're going to be fighting at the Telford International Arena. So, like we always say, one more time, David. If you're not
it's double time. Yeah, double time tonight, and it's super necessary. you're not watching every single boxing event, MMA show, minute by minute, round by round, tweeting, doing all the most you can. Not a
For sure. If you're not doing the Dana White's Fuck It Friday challenge, sorry, bro. Not a real fight fan.
As we segue into the next. Made at Madison Square Garden, but honestly, UFC 281 is incredible. There's one fight that made at Madison Square Garden, but Rob, honestly.
I give it a perfect 10, bro. This was an amazing event, bro. From the very beginning, Carlos Solberg destroying Negumereanu. I give it a perfect 10. That was awesome.
7 finishes out of 4 fights, so that was pretty good. There's a late punch, don't forget either, David.
Well, he was out on his feet.
No, I don't.
Came back super strong in the second round. Recovered well, man. So credit him on that, given he hasn't fought a 5-round fight against the biggest middleweights of all time. But, in fact, I mean, Israel Adesanya had a type of undisclosed injuries. And then, of course, he said his leg was compromised. There were several things that are interesting that Adesanya said as far as post-fight. We never really hear that from him, but throughout the entire week, media day and everything, I think a lot of people were saying they got a weird vibe from Adesanya, and you could kind of feel it coming, but just the way it did happen in the
I've
fifth
seen a lot
round.
of opinions about Israel
wait.
changing the level change at the wrong time.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's my little violin when Adesanya does those excuses. Come on, man. You're the fucking champ. No need for excuses. Take a loss. Take it like a man. Don't be a little crybaby.
Take it like Dominic Cruz did when he lost to Cody Garbrandt. I remember he just stood up the entire time at the post conference, and it was just like that was probably one of the better times, like as a true champion, But Izzy, man, I mean, he gave it all he could. I think the first, second round. I don't know about the whole cruising deal that people are saying. Like in the 5th round, he went up against the fence. It was a dangerous spot to be against Pereira. Corner advice. I mean, it didn't seem like Pereira got tired throughout the fight. Izzy sort of got gassed a little bit. We never really seen him get gassed, but there was some portions of like the 3rd and 4th round where you seen that it was Pereira's fight, man. And coming down to the very fucking end, just like the way it's been for, Usman.
Yeah, it happened to Usman, bro. All he had to do was just use a little wrestling and coast, but he wanted to put on a show for the fans, bro, and he fucking paid for it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I ain't mad about it, man. I don't mind seeing them run it back again. Maybe a little different, but I don't see it going different.
Yeah, it's it's the Drake curse, right? What did Drake bet, like $2.5 million on Izzy? And once I heard about that, I knew that was it right there. Yeah.
But let's talk about the best action that we ever saw on the floor, on the mat with Izzy and Pereira. Their jiu-jitsu was fucking on point.
Yeah, I mean, Credit to Pereira, sticking to the game plan, sticking to the leg kicks, man, because that was really a big time factor too. And there really wasn't anybody that's done that to Izzy other than like Gastelum, I believe, and then I think what's his name, Polish Power, kind of gave it to him too, and of course wrestled him, took him down. But we knew at some point Izzy was going to try to take the fight down. But Pereira, man, Pereira stood strong. True fucking champion, man. One of the more epic. His entrance is just iconic, man. Like at the Garden, winning the belt the way he did. He couldn't have won the belt in a better way. You know what I mean? Against one of the greatest middleweights of all time. But credit to Izzy, man. People are hating on him, and MMA fans are just absolutely the fucking worst now, man. Like Izzy's fucking one of the greatest ever, right?
And then to make matters worse, Izzy got arrested for having brass knuckles.
Oh man! But you know what? Going back to my point on the jiu-jitsu, it looked like two guys on the mat, barely learning how to grapple. They looked worse than a white belt learning, like first day of a white belt. It was ridiculous, and all these people were telling me, "Oh, but Izzy trains under so and so." He needs to find another coach because he wasn't looking so great on the mat. I mean, neither did Pereira. He sucks, and obviously he's not a jiu-jitsu guy.
He just got promoted to brown belt, though. I'm serious. He just got promoted to brown belt.
That's true. Yep.
I don't know.
He didn't win by submission. He didn't win by submission. So why did he get promoted?
I don't see it. I don't understand.
He trains with Glover, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but come on.
He should have a better grappling game if he trains with Glover. I'm sorry. He should have a way better grappling game.
I do give this to Pereira, though. I do give it to Pereira for having some decent takedown.
But why would he need a grappling game when he's going up against a known striker who doesn't grapple? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Izzy was going to switch it up and grapple him. That's why.
But he didn't. He didn't do any of that. He wanted to stand and bang, which is
the worst decision that you could have done.
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought, thinking, hey, man, you've lost 2 times to this guy standing. You would want to take his ass down. That would be the smart thing to do. But, you know, this dude, he's a warrior, bro. He wanted to go out there and say, nah, fuck that. I'm going to beat this guy at his game. And he went out on a shield. Some people say it was a little premature. I mean, I think they stopped him from getting some more punishment.
He would have been out, so.
No, yeah, they were hard shots, bro. I'm not mad about it.
Me neither. You know what? It could have been worse too. Pereira could have done his signature scissor kick or scissor knee. So you know, it could have broke. It could have broke his fucking jaw.
And I mean, he took like 12 unanswered strikes. Like I don't see where like people are saying that it was premature stoppage.
Scissor kick to the fucking head.
We've seen fights stop for a lot less, but Izzy was clearly out, and that whole like thing about him saying was to bring back Steve Mazzagatti. Like a lot of fighters, they kind of want that. They want to go completely out, but yeah, man, the ref's job is in there to save you, unless your name is fucking Steve Mazzagatti. But
I don't want to see anyone get like permanent brain damage. So it's like I'm glad the ref stopped it.
Yeah,
like I don't want to see like I like big finishes and big knockouts, but I don't want to see someone take like way too many shots where they don't need to take them.
Yeah.
Unnecessary shots are not needed anymore.
Yeah, and then
sorry, we don't need any more brain damage, guys.
The first round was amazing, though. Izzy nearly had him out in 1. Like, what would people be saying if Izzy had finished that first round and put him away?
If he had 5 more seconds, he probably would have finished him because he did land that after shot after the bell, and he had him even more on Dozy Street. So.
Yeah, but I think Pereira being a OG in the kickboxing world, I'm sure he's eaten a lot of those type of shots and recovered quickly. I'm sure that his training and then just him being who he is could have been like a quick flash KO or whatever. And he would have recovered. Probably would have held him just to get his bearings straight. So, but it is what it is. The bell did ring. Yep, the bell did ring.
I got it right.
Bro, what was up with the Izzy's orangutan freaking fur coat? Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
It looked like it was made from a straight up orangutan. The orangutan from Jungle Book and shit.
How is it even illegal?
Like, what the fuck is he wearing? I'm like, I don't know.
Trying to be
Okay.
Rafiki from the Lion King.
Yeah, it was a badass coat. It probably tops Connor's white Gucci thing that he was
How
wearing.
much
yeah.
it cost them? It's got to be illegal to freaking have like a orangutan coat.
I
Like,
bet you.
come
I
on.
bet you it was like real orangutan.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Really? You think so?
should have been should have been arrested for that coat instead of the brass knuckles.
Yeah, no shit.
Wow,
You should have been arrested for that coat, bro.
That's hilarious. Real quick,
Style bender, more like gender bender.
shout out to
Oh my God.
Hyder Bailey. He's in the chat. He says, "What's up, guys? What's up, man?"
And then moving on from top down, I picked Carla. You guys had Wally Zhang.
Oh,
Everybody
fuck yeah,
had
dude.
Zhang. That was a big
Mhm.
mistake on my part, but yeah, Carla looked afraid at the weigh-ins. Every part of it,
Mhm.
like she knew she was going there to lose, but Zhang, man, like incredible performance. The title was hers to be taken, and Carla just kept it temporarily, just shined it up a couple times, and Zhang's top notch. I don't know who's going to take it from her, but it's one of four women that fought for that belt. So whether they rematch with the Rose or what it's going to be,
If they rematch
Thug
Rose,
Rose.
you know it's going to be a good fight. Either way, it's going to be a good fight. But I don't think that she's going to take it. I think Zhang is going to keep the belt. She learned from her mistakes, and it showed when she fought against Carla, because Carla's a striker, and you know it was awesome. I was happy that she won and the way she won.
Mhm.
So it
Is
was
there a
good.
chance that because Zhang, I mean, Carla's tiny, but Zhang is a little bit smaller than Carla. Does Zhang stand a chance against Shevchenko? Say she does go up to 125 because it's very limited competition for Valentina, but that would be an incredible matchup. Say they
I think
do
her
book it.
power would be good enough to stand with, Valentina. I think technical Valentina has it technical wise, but power, I think she's got the power to stand, just stand with freaking Valentina. I'm sorry, but she
Yeah.
gets, a clean shot of Valentina. That could be a bad night for Valentina. And I love Valentina.
Plus the ground game too. She's so great on the ground. So that was looking like Valentina lost that last fight via getting taken down and showing some holes in her game there. I mean, she's forever improving and she's very top notch herself. But that may potentially be a fight that the UFC could be looking at just because
Mhm.
it's very limited competition. But I think the
No, I
Rose
think
fight.
it's Valentina and Nunez next. So I think Zhang's gonna have to wait for that super fight.
Yeah, well, that is her super fight. That was what I'm saying. Like that would be her jump up and her possibly
Yeah.
becoming a double champ. You know what I mean? So.
Well, she may have to wait for that fight though.
Yeah. But moving on to the fight of the year, we knew it was going to be some fight.
I don't want to talk about this one.
I mean,
Let's
like,
go.
can Michael?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Corey, look at that right here. That's sponsored.
Here we go.
Tonight's show is sponsored by Justin Poirier's Hot Sauce. What's up?
And see, I know, like, we know what Michael Chandler brings to the game. Every single fight, exciting fighter, action fighter. But had he stuck to the game plan, like his corner was just yelling, screaming at him to just stick to the takedowns. Like he got the takedown, he busted Dustin up. He had a chance to probably win the fight, but he likes to go out there, guns blazing, throw everything into every shot. Dustin Poirier knew that and capitalized, and he's just such a soldier, man. Dustin Poirier, one of the best ever do it at 155. He's never held the outright belt. Chandler, this was his chance to probably get that shot, but Dustin Poirier, man, such a warrior. Chandler, stick to the game plan, man. We know you're a stud, but yeah,
He
that was
screwed up in that first round though, David. Chandler fucked up in that first round when he had Poirier rocked. He never should have changed the levels and took him down. He should have kept standing and tried to fucking finish him.
Yep,
That's where he
even
fucked
Dustin
up that level change. That's
Poirier
what I've seen a
could've
lot
fought back.
online is the level change that he did in the first round, and that's what screwed him.
Yep.
So
Yeah, Rudy Lara, what do you think of that one, brother?
That was definitely fight of the night, bro. Fucking
Mhm.
amazing from start to finish. And again, it's just an instance where Chandler wanted to give the fans what they wanted, and he fucking paid for it, bro.
Mhm.
Instead of being the smart fighter that you think they're going to be, they go out and make some just dumb decisions, bro. As experienced as the dude is, you would think this is your path to victory, man. But they, these warriors, they want to go out there and prove something to themselves, I guess. But and like you said, man, this is his shot at gold, and I don't think he's gonna get that shot again, bro. His next best chance is to Hope Connor bites on his call out.
Yep.
I think he will though.
Yeah, because given Dustin Poirier had the trilogy with Connor, and I'll take Dustin Poirier against Conor McGregor any day of the week. But Michael Chandler, I mean, imagine if Michael Chandler has that same game plan up against Conor McGregor and actually sticks to the takedowns. He smashes Conor McGregor, you know. So it's kind of interesting to see what they do with Michael Chandler next, because we know Justin Gaethje's kind of been waiting in the wings, and maybe he does get Charles Oliveira for like the #1 contender spot. Because now that Poirier's got a big win, he probably sits on the sideline a little bit, but Dustin Poirier can fight any of the top guys at 55. I don't know what they do, but as far as this matchup, it delivered in every way possible that people thought it would. And yeah, but as far as the controversial like fish hook and him blowing his nose and shit, like that was kind of fucking crazy too, though. So
not controversial, because we saw the fish hook. They did replay it in the pay-per-view, and they showed his fucking
and then he bit his finger, so it cancels out.
Yep. Oh, well, that's true.
Cancels out. He bit his finger, it cancels out. I'm sorry, it cancels out, guys.
Still a cheater. Still a cheater.
Yeah, so was John Jones, so was Johnny Hendricks, and everyone loved them.
Yeah, true.
He pulled Eddie Guerrero style. You gotta, lie, cheat, and steal. It just didn't work out for him.
Ain't cheating, you ain't trying, that old saying, right? So
exactly. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
But when you got the eyes of the world watching you in Madison Square Garden, it's pretty clear we've seen what happened in that third round. So, but yeah, it was a bloody mess. And Dustin Poirier, man, just a soldier, one of my favorites all time. And like you said, Rob, shout out to Dustin Poirier hot sauce.
Yeah, I'll give him his credit.
It's super legit. Go out there and get you some.
Hell you.
He completed the violent trilogy. He took on Gaethje, Alvarez, and Chandler, and he's finished them all. It's like those are 3 violent fighters.
You know what? The fight, it actually kind of booked itself, because they were talking about it previous to this fight happening. We mentioned it on the show was Eddie Alvarez re-signing with the UFC, and then him and Chandler doing their
try to chase that trilogy fight, and now he's talking about it. So I said, he's going to try to chase that trilogy fight.
Yeah, it will happen. That fight for sure happens.
Yeah, well, shout out to our boy Daniel Pena, OG of Fightbook MMA, right there in the chat. He has been with us since day one, actually, since Fightbook MMA became Fightbook MMA.
Que onda, Danny? You haven't talked to that dude in forever.
I know he's in town, man. We're gonna have to schedule some lunch with me and him here pretty soon. Hopefully, he stays for next weekend's event. So, but yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, moving on to the next fight, the sad moment. Of course, I don't know, man. Like I picked Frankie Edgar. I love Frankie. Frankie's one of my favorite all-time fighters. Always fought the best. Fighting it, just one of those guys that just stuck it out there a little bit too long. Wanted to make it happen in MSG. 41 years old, stepping in there. The moment I seen Chris Gutierrez take the center of the octagon, I knew Frankie was done, man. Gutierrez looked sharp. He looked better than ever.
That hurt. That one hurt to watch. That one hurt me to watch, because it's like, poor Frankie. He should not have went out like that. He never should have went out like that.
Yeah, no, Chris Gutierrez, what do you say post-fight, finding out that one of his coaches has cancer or something like that, so he went out there fighting not only one of the greatest legends of the UFC, fighting for a coach that's battling cancer. So when we found out that, like, his performance definitely showed out. And I know, like, the pre-fight interviews and stuff, he was kind of cocky and trash talking down on the matchup, but he lived up to the moment. He fought a legend and showed great respect afterwards too. But yeah, I hated seeing Frankie go out the way he did, man, for sure.
In front of his family, bro. That was, I think, the pill to swallow, the hard pill to swallow for everybody.
Yeah, that one's hard to watch. Like,
seeing him go out like that in front of his kids, bro. That was ugly, bro. I don't want to see him get knocked out like that again, and that's gonna keep happening if he continues fighting. I'm glad this is his last fight.
Let's hope.
Yeah, he did kind of mention some type of like a boxing. What do you say? If Pacquiao wants to get it, let's get it.
Oh my God!
Man, I mean, that's Frankie right there.
He can see your slap fight next.
Hey, but do you guys remember? Because the first time I ever heard Frankie Edgar as an MMA fighter was the old school MTV True Life. I'm an MMA fighter. Frankie.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember him on that show. Yep. I thought it was the Tap Out show.
So if you remember that show, You
Oh
are
yeah,
a real fight fan.
Wow.
So
that
straight
that
up.
was the when I saw that episode, that's when I knew who Frankie Edgar was, and I was like, I'm gonna
Yep.
follow this guy, and
Yep.
yeah, it was
Yeah, the
awesome.
new era fans do not know about that. So look it up. It's real.
Mhm.
True life. I'm an MMA fighter before MMA fighting was what it is now. So
Mhm.
incredible, Frankie the answer Edgar. But yeah, that just
And he
wasn't.
wasn't even signed. He was signed with the UFC, like barely signed to the UFC.
Yeah, it was like it was early days, early
In the
days. Like
early fucking
the
days.
golden years is what I consider that of the UFC.
Mhm.
But the fight before that was probably the worst fight of the night. I think Rudy Lara would agree, and a lot of people would. Claudio Puelles' game plan against Dan Hooker, like Dan Hooker looked huge in the fight. Like, I mean, he's usually pretty damn big, like 180, 170. But Claudio Puelles, how many Umanari rolls? Like, that has to be a record number, you know?
I
Like,
think he outdid Ryan Hall with those kind of like those attempts. I really think he did. He was trying to, be Ryan Hall, but oh my god, it did not work out.
Nobody could be Ryan Hall.
Yeah, that wasn't the sandwich fight of the night for me. To be honest with you, as much as Puelles sucked ass, I mean, he screwed me on a lot of money, bro. But Dan Hooker looked phenomenal, dude. He just pieced that motherfucker up. And there's levels to this game, and you could definitely see Dan Hooker. Dude, he's nobody's stepping stone, and that was awesome, bro. I'm glad he beat the shit out of that kid, especially for pulling that bullshit, man. Just trying to pull guard just like, bro, you got exposed big time. You got exposed big time. You got punked, and I'm glad you got punked. I thought he was gonna, and that's because I was going for him, bro. I thought he was gonna win. I thought he was gonna pull off another miracle knee bar, but that didn't happen, bro. Dan Hooker, that dude's a motherfucker.
Yeah, definitely outclassed, outmatched, and he knew it from 45 seconds into the fight. I think that was the only chance he had is when he had potential leg lock or knee bar, and Dan Hooker definitely had great defense, seen all kinds of looks from the top guys. So, but yeah, like you said, Rudy lost out on some cash, sandwich fight possibility, but there was other exciting bouts previous to this one. Brad Riddell choked out by Renato Moicano.
Moicano, bro. Moicano. What about that damn post-fight interview, bro? Talking about himself in third person. It was amazing. Moicano wants money. Moicano is tired of getting these low fights. Moicano wants top 10. I love that shit. It was awesome, dude.
Yeah. And he's booked to fight a certain somebody. We'll get to that in the Outside the Cage news and getting a quick turnaround against another legend. So we'll get to that one. But murder of the night, Dominic Reyes got completely murdered by Ryan Spawn and
destroyed.
I think Spawn potentially could be the champion, right? Will he be the champion in like 2023?
Oh yeah, he could.
I see it coming next year. I do.
Yeah. And I think the fight for him, because 205 is kind of locked up right now with the top contenders. But what's the guy that I mean, they weren't talking about the fight, but it's definitely the fight that is for him at the moment. Because I know Ankalaev and what's the name, Polish Power are lined up. That's pretty much number one contender. But there is a particular matchup for him that's great. I forget the guy's name.
Paul Craig, Volkan Ozdemir.
No, definitely not Ozdemir.
Jamal Hill.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. Jamal Hill
and Brian Spawn is an absolute banger of a fight.
Yeah, dude. I like that.
Right now, UFC.
That could main event a fight night, honestly, with how they fight. That could be a main event.
Yeah. That's the fight to make. Like the UFC, you're listening right now. We know that fight's on the fucking board in the war room. Book it.
We've been at least like 98% accurate on our call outs and who the next fighter is and who's going to get the pink slip. Like, seriously, we predict these fights like months in advance. They come true. So, the UFC's listening. You're listening, UFC. I know you are.
Hey, the UFC 282 is lacking a full main event, as they say, but I know that's a quick turnaround. But yeah, Jamal Hill for sure and Ryan Spawn, absolute banger of a fight, super necessary. It will happen. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to the prelims. Of course, we're on the prelims now. Hype train stopped. Speaking of outclassed, and outed Molly McCann, Aaron Blanchfield. I told y'all last week, Molly McCann's gonna get smoked. Did I not?
Bro.
Yeah, she
I
got
mean,
destroyed.
Dude, she got fucking murdered.
On top of old Smokey, all covered with cheese.
Fuck off.
I
Black
lost
sheep,
my
black-
poor meatball when Aaron squeezed.
Fuck off. Seriously.
Man,
He
Blanchfield
rolled off the table and onto the floor. And now my poor meatball has gone back to the UK.
That doesn't even fucking rhyme at the end. What the fuck?
Well,
Uh,
the hype train stopped. A bit overrated, but
Yep.
Aaron Blanchfield is pretty damn good at 125, and she hasn't lost in like 4 years. So I expect to see her in a high-profile fight, especially after beating Molly McCann. And not necessarily a measuring stick for Molly. I think there's levels to this shit, just like Dan Hooker. So she's got to work on a lot of things.
I know who's going to take it. I know who could definitely beat Aaron Blanchfield. 100%
Who's
guarantee. Greg
Jake
Hardy.
Paul. And to
Yeah,
everybody,
fucking inhaler.
and to everybody that started commenting on my post when I said the hype train got derailed, it did get derailed.
Yes.
It did
Little
got
bit.
derailed.
Exposed.
not totally.
No,
She got
it,
exposed
it-
a little bit.
it got pushed over off the fucking tracks into the woods and got exploded.
Oh,
Yeah, heading
shit.
train to the
It got
streets.
exploded.
Yes, that train exploded.
And then it got looted.
Yeah.
People
It-
took up the scraps and
They
melted
did.
it down. They smelt it down.
That train got destroyed. People
Yeah.
jumping on McCann. No.
I don't know why, bro. I mean,
I don't either. I don't know.
She, you know, I love her heart. You know, I'll give her that. She's got a lot of heart.
Well, yeah.
Her
of
hands aren't the
course.
greatest. Her
No.
wrestling isn't the greatest, but
No.
she puts on great fights, bro. You know,
Yeah, she did. Her last two fights were amazing.
if you keep it standing and you give her a chance, she puts on amazing fights. She has a great
does.
energy. That's what I think people love about her. But, yeah, bro. Once
But her
she fights
skill set-
another high level,
Makes
like a
her
high level
getting the ground, I
grappler,
knew
you're
it was gonna
fucked.
be a bad night.
Yeah, man. Her skill set is what lacks in the ground game. It's Aaron Blatchfield just fucking exposed the shit out of Molly, and it's something that all these women are gonna be looking at this tape and seeing. Okay, now I know what the blueprint is.
Yeah, take her down.
And
Take her
those were
down.
that was the biggest spread of the night, bro. Minus 380 favorite for Blanchfield, Molly McCann, a plus 310 underdog. So nobody had
Jeez.
Molly McCann.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Except for
Except
me.
for her fans. Except
Yeah.
for her.
I had her.
Except for the people riding on that train.
Right? The
My
meatball
brother talked
lovers.
so much shit after that fight, he would not shut up.
Man.
He said he'll never eat a meatball sub again.
I'm gonna
Where's
think of
the-
fucking meatballs next time I see him.
No more meatballs on that spaghetti.
So Rudy, was Andre Petrosky, Wellington Terman, the sandwich of the night, right?
No, that one's not sandwich of the night for
okay.
me. That one was okay, bro. I would say sandwich fight of the night for me had to be Julio Arce versus Montel Jackson. That I barely remember that shit.
Mm.
And I watched the entire card. I watch every card, you know, start to finish. And
Yeah.
this
You
one,
know
I-
what? I can 100% agree on that fight, man.
for real, bro. I mean, would you even have remembered that shit unless I brought
No.
it up right now?
No.
Nope. You're
But
like,
the
who?
fight, a performance of the night, low key, like unexpectedly, was Matt Frivola steamrolling the Potato Man, right?
Azaitar? Yeah, bro. He fucked him up. And he was yeah, he came. The betting odds were weird on this one for Vola. He came in as a big underdog, and then closer to the event, it just it flipped, man. And he ended up being a minus 145 favorite, plus 125 underdog for Ottman. Ottman is coming off like a 3-year layoff, 3.5 years if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he tried to smuggle potatoes into Abu Dhabi and he got busted. So, but the fight performance, or we almost had a double knockout. Need not forget Mike Trizano
Oh,
and Fury
yeah.
Troy. Incredible! If that happened, this card was at 20.
Yeah, that was another bet that screwed me. Choi, if he would have won, yeah, I had five different bet slips, bro, where I just missed one fight, and I would have won over $1,500 on each one.
Oh
Wow.
And these were all dollar bets.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, this event had the most early stoppages. Early stoppage, bro. I posted so many early stoppages on that
You did.
fucking on
I
my
was laughing
thread.
my ass off the whole night.
The Carlos Olberg fight, dude, that was just a destroyer, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like the way this guy is looking, man. When he first came on the scene, I think he lost his first fight in the UFC, and then he came back.
Yep.
He looks amazing, bro. That dude has some fast hands. He's got power. He's what the UFC wants, bro. They want a good-looking cat who's articulated and knows how to use his hands, bro. And this dude he's a real deal, bro. Watch out for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
The stoppages, there were 7 total first round stoppages on this card.
7 total
There was
early stoppages.
There's 11 total 11 total stoppages though, right?
Yeah, 7 of those first rounders. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
So yeah, but got robbed of our double knockout. Trezano and Siwoo Choi were that close. And it was right there. About to happen, but Trezano fought his ass off and probably stayed in the UFC because he was about to be cut.
That would have been the first double knockout in UFC history if that would have happened.
We're due for it soon.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Calm
It's
down
gonna
there,
happen
Tommy
in
D.
our lifetime.
I have a feeling it's going to happen like on a big, like a high profile fight too, for some odd reason.
Well, technically, Newton and Hughes were out, in that fight at the same time, but we're not going to discuss that right now.
Yeah.
This dude.
Technically, the first double knockout was John Jones being high on cocaine and hitting a pregnant woman in a hit and run.
Yeah. That's outside the cage of news, so we could move on to the next segment.
Yeah. So overall, 9.5 for me. David, 9.5.
9.
Mark and Rudy, give it a 10.
Yeah, I gave it a
Good
perfect
card.
10, bro.
This was a good card. It was awesome.
I'll say 9.5.
Okay.
10 if Chandler had finished him like he should have, but
Overall, it's a 9. If we
yeah, it was a
do
good
what
card.
we got to do with it. So
It was
yeah,
fun to
very
watch,
good.
honestly.
It was a
I enjoyed
9.25
Fun night.
overall.
9.25.
It was a great event, bro. I enjoyed it start to finish, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Well,
think it's
let's
going to
go.
outdo the December card.
I don't know.
I think it's
I
going to
don't
outdo
know.
your Glover rematch.
We
I got a
still- we
feeling.
still-
I don't know
we
why.
still-
That card's not.
We still got to see that card before we can say that this is going to be unbeatable.
Yep.
Got to see. We got to see.
Card might disappoint us.
Hey, you never know, man. Could be the one where we see a double knockout and all finishes from the bottom to the top.
You know, you're right. Or it could be all just boring, crappy decisions, or it could just be like really shitty fights.
Yeah.
No,
We usually get that when we get a couple good events and then a really shitty event.
2 draws, a double knockout, and all decisions.
Oh shit. That's a snoozer of a card.
That's Bellator, bro. I'm just kidding.
That might be this weekend's card, as a matter of fact. But
That'll be
Right.
tomorrow's so you never know.
Yeah. Well, Rudy, let's get to the intro of the
Outside the Cage News.
I can't hear if you already did it or not.
yes, indeed. No,
There
it's
we go.
definitely outside the cage news more than often. Sometimes, most of the time, more interesting than what happens inside the cage. But I want to first start out by mentioning the passing of UFC legend. He is a legend of the game, man. He was XFN heavyweight champion for our partner promotion, Dale Cook. Rest in peace, Anthony Johnson. He passed away at 38 years old. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's a form of cancer, and I had heard things about Anthony Johnson, like people that trained with him, that he had been sick. Right? Undisclosed what it was about, but very unfortunate passing. We heard it the morning after UFC 281. So rest in peace, Anthony Johnson, and shout out the prayers to his family. and kids. I think he's a pop too. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a sad thing, man. Too young. I mean, I can remember Anthony Johnson. I don't know how he did it. He cut to 170 and fought Josh Koscheck back in the day. How was that possible? He did it.
I don't know, honestly. How did he make that?
It's
Got
a
the
miracle.
towel. He pulled the DC, grabbed the towel.
And I mean, as big boss as he's always, I mean, when I remember Anthony Johnson, what I think first and foremost is the fight that we never got to see is against John Jones when DC became the champion. That's when DC became, you know, one of the GOATs. So we never got to see that matchup, but man, would that have been an incredible fight. And Anthony Johnson was on a hell of a run at that time. And like I mentioned earlier, he was XFN affiliated, Dale Cook, champion there, was steamrolling people there. Yeah, man, just unfortunate loss to the MMA community, and just a classic brawl, just a legend of the game, man. He really was. Never held the belt, but he was always right there on the cusp. Well, never held the belt in the UFC, but like I said, XFN champion.
I think
Just
he
a
would
true
have got
story,
the
man.
Bellator title, honestly. I think probably by summer he would have got the Bellator title.
Yep. Rudy Lara, what's your favorite Anthony Johnson memory, man? Whether it's a fight or something that just, you know, you think Anthony Johnson, it just pops right in your head, bro.
Just how big that dude was, bro.
Right?
Well, he didn't start off that way, man. He started off, you know, slim and trim, and motherfucker just exploded, bro. Exploded. Yeah, man. I mean, that dude was a heavy hitter, man. Heavy hitter, bro.
Such a nice guy. He was such a nice guy with all his interviews and his interactions with the fans, and it's just one of those type of guys that you know, once that cage door closes, a switch happens, and he's just a fucking beast in there. But when he's outside, not training or even in training, he's just this humbled, low-key, nice guy. You know, that's one thing that I will always remember about Rumble. It's just his explosiveness in the cage, his the way he carries himself. I mean, this guy is just a monster. And just like Rudy said, you know, he started off just this lean, looked like the guy that would just go and run marathons and do full marathons or whatever, or triathlons. And then he just comes in, just bulked the fuck up, you know, and it's just power, sheer power that guy generates.
Well, I think he fought in like a golden era of the 205 division too, because he fought guys that were at top of their game, like Phil Davis. He fought Nogueira, the Nogueira brothers. Has a win over Gus,
Andre Orlovsky, Jimmy Manuel. But his fucking his kryptonite was Daniel Cormier, bro. That dude lost him twice, and
Cormier. If he would have just finished him, that would have been great. But Cormier managed to recover, then his grappling
and see, the thing is too, like he fought last year in June of the summer, and then here he is passing suddenly. Like, you know, that's crazy, man. And his last fight, it's only right, it was a second round nasty KO too. So
he blasted that guy's face. That was great.
Yeah. But yeah, rest in peace, Anthony Rumble Johnson. Unexpected loss to the MMA community. So I want to start out the outside the cage.
Gonna get him versus Yul, but hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would have been a good fight to see.
But moving on to outside the cage news, it was technically not in the cage, but it was in the ring. I know, Mark, you were following closely. Floyd Money Mayweather gets another win. Apparently, $150 million payday. And
for what, a glorified sparring match? Are you shitting me? And they took the guy down in the 6th fucking round? Are you fucking kidding me?
150 mil, and I think Floyd commented. He didn't, nothing even close. But when Floyd responded to a criticism of these exhibition deals, he's like, currency over legacy. So that's
because he bets all his money away. That's why.
Well, I mean, he's right, bro. I mean, what his legacy still stand? It's still there, even if he loses in these exhibitions. What's it fucking matter, bro?
Yeah, they don't count towards his actual record. So,
and he ain't gonna lose in these exhibitions, dude. That dweeb that he fought. That goober that he fought on Saturday, it was pathetic, bro.
That was bad.
You know, he destroyed his ass. It wasn't even funny, bro. It wasn't even entertaining. And then he hands him some fake ass belt at the end of the fight. I thought that was hilarious, bro. He just embarrassed him like, here you go, you're still a winner. You dumbass, here, put this belt on, dumbass. You got,
It was bad.
and he's
It
like,
was
you got
really
one,
bad.
you got one shot on me, you got one good one. Like celebrating
that's
that, bro.
true.
How good would you feel about that shit? I mean, I feel good about the money. Don't get me wrong, but as a man, bro.
What a consolation prize, right? Fighting
Yeah.
Floyd, motherfucking Mayweather.
I would have rather got knocked out.
Way less than
I would have went out on my shield.
Hey, but as far as that event, the highlight of the night was John Fury shirtless calling Jake Paul out, right?
That was hilarious. That was
Yeah,
one of the
that
funniest
was-
moments of the night.
That was my favorite part of the
whole
event
time
was
during that whole sequence.
just the call out and Jake Paul. They interviewed him for like 20 minutes or some shit. It was funny.
Well, there was clips of him falling asleep ringside when he was. Of course, he was there because Tommy Fury, and apparently that fight's in the works. But there was like
right.
more.
Let's see.
Yeah, the camera was geared towards him snoozing off, and it is what it is. Jake Paul's that Tommy Fury fight will probably indeed happen, but his pops.
I don't know,
jumping in
man.
there.
They asked him. They interviewed him, and he was saying, I don't know. I'm not confident that he's gonna make it to the fight. What is two times that it was supposed to happen and it didn't.
Yeah.
I know Top G was in
already.
the crowd, and they even had a face off right there. So I think I see that fight happening, the Andrew Tate fight happening before Tommy Fury
Tate's
ever
gonna knock his
decides to
ass
step in.
out.
Yep. Yeah, those are. I mean, whatever's going to generate the most money, right? And Floyd's the money ticket, but Jake Paul's right there, just a little bit underneath, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, but as far as outside the cage news, we already covered UFC 281. Outside of the arena, Nate Diaz again is slapping people left and right.
Slap the shit out of Dildo Dennis.
Or
He's
slap his manager.
he's eventually going to be on Dana White's slap fight promotion.
Oh, I
It's a
hope so,
million-
bro. I want to see someone slap the shit out of him. Him versus I don't know, Derek Lewis.
Him versus Nick. Fuck that. Brother versus brother. He's got to smoke a big fatty and have to go in a slap fight.
No, I'm talking about Dildo Dennis versus Derek Lewis, dude.
Dildo Dennis, not fucking Nate. Okay.
No,
Well,
not
yeah,
me.
put Dildo Dennis against fucking Brock Lesnar. Fucking let Brock just smack his face off.
No, because they cut away
Nah.
from the footage too, like outside of the arena. I guess he slapped. Because I seen Conor McGregor's manager was in between all of them, and then Dylan Dennis says, "No, I'm with my kids," or so, trying not to go any further. And then Nate slaps one of his managers, and they cut away like the clip that it was, but I seen the extended version, and the guy's like, "I'll kill you, I'm gonna kill you," like telling Nate Diaz and shit. So it's getting pretty crazy. But I think Nate Diaz slapping people at every event is a new trend, and I love it, and it better happen every time.
It's like a Stanley cameo, honestly. It's like a Stanley cameo.
Yeah,
It's
gonna
the
happen
main.
again.
It's the main event without being the main event.
Exactly.
Man. Unbelievable. But yeah, that's Nate Diaz. So we know, in fact, he's looking for a fight, possibly a boxing match with Jake Paul. But in the meantime, he might get slapped up in the crowd or outside an arena. So watch out. I think, or who does he slap next? Let's put it out there.
Gilbert Burns.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
He
it could
he
be
goes and
anybody.
finds Gilbert and slaps the shit out of him.
I
Steven
think the only
Thompson.
thing missing, the only thing missing from UFC 281, whether it was inside the arena or outside, is John fucking Jones slapping somebody. Now that would have been great. Yeah.
The only thing he's slapping is his flaccid penis. No more dick pills.
Oh my fucking god.
Man. Because I guarantee you he probably I don't follow.
I'm out.
I don't
I'm fucking done for the night, Rudy. Thanks.
I don't follow Jones on social media, but like he had to have been like chomping at the bit to get at Izzy as far as him losing in MSG to Pereira. I know Jones was backing Pereira the whole time. Jones never fought at MSG. Like that should have been him. You know what I mean? Like Jones should be the fucking king of the world. He
Wait,
should
Jones
be
has
at
never
MSG.
fought at MSG at all yet?
Never, no.
Really? Never ever. Huh.
No. So yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of shit
That
talking
place
on the
is
side of
about to be
Jones.
blown fucking to bits.
Yeah. I
Damn,
know
that's
he's
weird.
good at it too, but then again, he deletes tweets or whatever he does. But as far as the
Yeah.
arrest thing, that's another thing to pile on Izzy, because Rudy mentioned earlier, Israel Adesanya arrested at JFK Airport with brass knuckles, man. Like, can he put that shit in the fucking suitcase and not put it in the carry-on, right? Like, right.
Such
They
a
were gonna
dummy.
get a catchweight fight. Izzy versus John Jones in a catchweight fight is the next fight that's gonna happen by, I'd say,
They
May or
could.
June.
Yeah, they should do it. I mean, I know
Because
Jones would
one's
run through him.
185, one's a heavyweight now. They're gonna meet in between, and they're gonna have a catchweight. I think.
It
All
could
that
happen.
shit talk, gonna fight.
Yeah,
Nah, I don't think so,
But-
bro.
No,
but then
Nah, man. John Jones is waiting for his shot to make that money in the heavyweight division. I don't see
you're
him
right,
going
but I
back
still
down.
think
He
might end up
doesn't have a
facing
reason
Izzy
to,
at some
bro.
point.
He doesn't have a reason to go back down. You know, he cemented his legacy there.
Well,
And
Izzy can
I
beat
don't-
him like over
I don't think he wants to
205,
tarnish
you
it.
know what
I think he wants to tarnish that legacy, man.
I mean? You're right. Good point.
could be a catchweight fight, though. I kind of like the idea of that happening, but just the minute Jones takes
Maybe they can
Adesanya
like
down,
220 or something.
Yeah.
Because Izzy doesn't walk around out. He probably looks around. around
Bro,
220,
I mean,
right?
bro, look at what a bigger, heavier fighter already did to him, dude. Last Saturday, he fucked him up. Just imagine that guy being able to wrestle. John Jones would destroy his ass, bro. That's not even a competition, man. Not even close.
yeah.
I don't
He
want
will-
to see that
he will
shit.
He will destroy Izzy in the first round.
I just want to see a nasty knockout. That's all.
It wouldn't be a knockout. I don't think so. I think he would
No?
fuck him
Okay.
up.
like
TKO,
on-
ref
Just a
stoppage,
5-round
ground and
beatdown.
pound.
Kimura, second round. But moving on to well, speaking of John Jones, a guy that was very much close to beating John Jones on one leg, Thiago Santos called out Jake Paul. We know Thiago Santos is out there, PFL-ish, boxing-ish. So I don't know if Jake Paul would step up to that challenge. I mean,
I don't
Jones
think
got
so.
some power.
Nah, there's not enough draw, bro. Unless they were gonna do it in like Brazil or some shit, but
If
Even
Thiago
then,
had
bro.
been on a win streak when he left, it would be
Majeta?
more like if he had left, like on a win streak, but he left on a loss. So
yeah, Maheta, he's hit or miss, bro. He used to be a scary dude, but not
Mhm.
anymore, man.
maybe if he wins the PFL championship, like if he goes on a nice streak and wins the PFL championship, they'll probably fight. But who knows?
yeah, and on the topic of PFL, moving on outside the cage news, they announced their official pay-per-view price. It's a lot less than the UFC, not by much, but it's $49.99, and it starts with their headliner, of course, Kayla Harrison against Larissa Pacheco, Bubba Jenkins, Brendan Loganey. It's a pretty dope card. Stevie Ray, Olivia Obadier, or Mercier. Always like to see him
That's gonna be
compete.
a good fight.
And you got Aspen Ladd against Julia Budd. Julia Budd's been top notch for a while too. Her only losses are to Kayla, and that fight is pretty intriguing. Marlon Moraes is fighting his brother, Shaman Moraes, on the card. So
That's weird.
Jeremy
He's gonna lose to
Stevens.
his brother.
Making his return to World Series of Fighting stomping grounds.
Yeah. But yeah, so PFL has definitely got into the pay-per-view market. So you got to pay the cost to be a real, true MMA fan. We pay the most out there. So, I mean, if you don't pay all those MMA fees, the ESPN Plus, buy all the pay-per-views and all that, you're also not a real fight fan too. So I'm gonna throw that out there.
Not a real fight fan.
But PFL is in the business of making money. Crypto.com has been crashing and losing a bunch of money. They're the official sponsor of the UFC. Rudy Lara, I'll let you take this one.
Oh, I don't want to get into that, bro. But yeah, a lot of that has to do with FTX, man. A company called FTX just caused a lot of uncertainty in the market. They were basically, they stole a lot of money, man. They made a lot of people, they fucked a lot of people, bro. Tom Brady, if his life wasn't shitty enough as it is already after that divorce, I think he invested, him and his ex-wife, invested like $950 million into that shit, and they lost it all, bro.
Christ.
They lost it all. Yeah, bro, and it's I don't know, man. It's a very scary situation. The government wants to take over and you know, take over the crypto space, man, and put all sorts of regulations, and it's not looking good, man. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market. That's why you're seeing crypto crash. You're you're seeing everything, not just crypto.com, but everything in the market crash, the crypto market, because of FTX. If you don't know what that is, look it up, folks. It's pretty intriguing, man, to see what's happening. Oh, and the people that were the heads of this organization, I've seen on Twitter, they're going to be releasing at midnight tonight a sex tape of one of the people that are involved if they don't come out clean, which they aren't. So
What?
yeah, there's going to be a sex tape coming out tonight. And this chick is like dog ugly, bro. Oh God. And people are like saying, "Oh, please, I'll send you crypto not to release a sex tape. I don't want to see that shit. Burn out my eyes."
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Look it up, man. Look it up.
$950 million lost.
Yeah, I think it was 900. I might be wrong. Might be 95. I don't know. It's some. I know it's just
still
some
a lot
obscene
of
amount of
money.
money. It doesn't matter. Even $1 million, bro. To people like
Still,
us, that's a lot.
Still, Floyd Mayweather made more than that in like one round, right? Like last week. So that's for
Jesus.
I was embarrassed. That event was embarrassing, bro. Well, that fight, not the event, just the fight.
But yeah, I mean that perfect way to segue, Rudy Lara. I mean, when I looked that up, I mean, I didn't know that information, but you're the person to let our viewers know and let us know about the whole crypto crash, because I think the UFC may in fact put away those crypto.com shirts and have the fighters walking out with them. So
Yeah, they the thing is that crypto.com had some of their assets invested in that company too. So when people found that out, they started pulling their shit from crypto.com. That's why you're seeing a big crash with them. But it's happening all over, bro. Everybody was invested with these scumbags. And
while the UFC fighters already are losing money and don't make the money they should, and crypto.com is probably not paying them what they should be, so yeah,
bro, yeah, crypto's scary, man. Crypto's scary.
Yeah, but crypto.com doesn't pay their fight. Doesn't pay the fighters don't get any money off the crypto.com
No,
at
they
all.
don't.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're not paying anything. That's what I'm saying. They're out there
Right.
wearing the shirts. They got the banners, the sponsors in the cage, but where is it trickle down to the fighters? Not a single penny. I
No.
guarantee it.
Not even
You
the
just get a
Rock
shirt.
shoes. Not
You just
even
get
the
a
Rock
shirt.
shoes.
Bro, did you see Derek Lewis's interview, man? They asked him about The Rock. He's like, hey, so do you like The Rock shoes? He's like, man, don't get me in trouble. Y'all trying to start shit, me and The Rock. And, and he's like, why don't you, well, if you pretend I'm The Rock, what would you say to him? He's like, well, put me in your commercial, man. Put me in your commercial. I like your shoes. If you put me in your commercial, I haven't had your tequila, but I like your shoes. And if you don't put me in the commercial, then fuck you then.
And that's speaking real too. Derek Lewis is a realist too, for sure. That's the way he should put it. Any other fighter would probably be totally different. But
I love his interviews, bro. Just that dude he's fun to listen to, man. The shit that he says is so hilarious, bro. If you haven't seen the pressers this week, man, you check him out, dude. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and then moving on outside the cage news to close out this segment of the show, we always do some fight bookings. So starting out with the fight we mentioned earlier, Renato Moicano coming. It's a quick turnaround. I believe it's December 19th, right? He's fighting Tony Ferguson, December 19th.
Rest in
February.
peace.
I don't think it's December. New Year, I
believe
think.
Moicano want money.
Well, it's no, actually, you know what? It is in Brazil. So it's Kukui gets sacrificed in Brazil.
Yeah, he's gonna get sacrificed in Brazil, bro. Moicano wants souls.
Rest in peace.
Moicano wants souls. That's what they asked him. Dana White called him up. Hey, so what do you want next, Sean Shelby? Moicano wants souls. Moicano wants souls. And after that, Moicano wants an omelet.
Tony's passed on his Kukui wisdom and powers to several guys in the past months, including our boy Chris Brown. He took a fucking Nate Diaz fight on 8 hours notice. It's incredible what's been going on with Tony Ferguson. But yeah, this fight is a bad matchup for Tony in Brazil. I know Tony's the man and does not give a fuck and will fight anybody. So
Mhm.
credit to him on that. But I have a bad feeling about this one, just like Frankie Edgar. Just like there's been several other fights, but this one, man, we kind of looked nasty as last time out, and I don't know. I don't want to see Kukui get hurt out there like Frankie did.
Yeah, this is the UFC's way of getting rid of him. Not in a
Yeah.
bad way, man. They just know he's going to go out and put on a show, give the fans what
Yep.
they want. And I don't think the fans want to see him get knocked out, but that's what's going to fucking happen. He's going to get either knocked out or choked out. I prefer to see him get choked out as opposed to
Yep.
knocked out because, yeah, man, let's be real here. The dude, he's lost a couple marbles.
A couple.
Yeah, like you said, Rui, that's a way for the UFC to put him out there, and maybe it's his last fight on the contract. But I hate to say this, but Tony said he's always a company guy for the UFC, and this is what a company guy gets you in the UFC. You know, so it is what it is. I'm not the only one that feels that way. So, but moving on to some great fight bookings that were added to the UFC Perth card. I heard about Alex Perez and Kai Kara France slated on that card, which is pretty super necessary matchup, and it's kind of good to see Alex Perez fighting the top guys, and he's kind of a guy that you have to get through, man. And Kara France was in title talk, so I like the matchup. It's down under. They added we spoke about it, was it last week, about the Yair Emmett fight. Like, we hadn't heard anything about it for months and months. They talked about it, and then all of a sudden we mentioned it on the show, and we got an interim title fight, Josh Emmett and Yair Rodriguez. So I know Rob likes to fight. Rob's
Yes.
picking Yair right now, but,
Yes, of course I'm picking Pantera. Come
I think
on,
he-
man.
I think he's the favorite, like, odds right now. I just seen a blip earlier, but that's an incredible matchup, man. Like, it's very deserving because it's on the same card as Volkanovski, potentially trying to become the double champ. So that's very proper that they have it on the card, and I like the matchup very much.
It's gonna be good, man. That's gonna be a good fight for sure.
And one matchup, like you mentioned earlier, that just came out of nowhere, it's fucking Greg Hardy stepping in for Vitor Belfort against Rahman. Mark, how did this happen?
I don't know even why Vitor had to pull out of the fight. I don't know if it's an injury or
Who?
if it's an illness. I'm not sure, but question is, does Greg Hardy bring his inhaler?
Man,
And will the commission allow it? Is the question.
where's the fight taking place at anyway? Is it in New York, right? Or
I am not sure. I have to double check that.
yeah, okay.
But
Yeah, well,
I feel like Greg Hardy's gonna win. Somehow he's gonna like just stretch out a decision. But I could be wrong. I don't know why.
well,
I feel
all
like
I
his
know,
name.
yeah, all I know about Greg Hardy is he's probably making more money in this fight than his entire
yeah.
UFC career. And Rob, we know you don't have Greg Hardy in the fight. We know that.
Fuck no.
I hope Greg Hardy gets knocked out though, personally.
But it is, of course, it's on DAZN. It's the promotion is Misfits Boxing. It's a 7-fight card, and it's in Austin, Texas. So
Okay.
anything goes in Texas, I guess you can say. But yeah, Greg Hardy for the win.
No, I have Greg Hardy losing by domestic violence.
Let's
Yeah,
hope so.
but he is. I think he's the co-main event, or no, he's not the co-main event. He's
That's
on the main
event,
card.
isn't it?
No, the main event is Waleed Musin against Nuruddin Shabazz, and that's the ICB super featherweight title. So it's a 130-pound fight.
Mm.
So
That's like one of my
Yeah.
legs. Jesus Christ.
yeah, Greg Hardy still the show. I'm calling it right now. Yeah, but yeah, we also heard about our boy. He's been on the show before. He was last starching people in BKFC in Albuquerque. John motherfucking Dodson, the magician, on the Rising show, showing out.
Yeah. Year's Eve.
Always on New Year's Eve. So, yeah, look out for John Dodson in Rising. So I think it's very proper that he's on a Rising card, and I feel
He'll
like
end
he's
up in
been on one
Bellator.
before.
Honestly,
but he
he'll
had
be
been
in Bellator at some point. They work together a lot.
But Rob, did you hear about the Dodson booking though? I heard it from Isaac Valley Flag.
Yeah,
so-
he's fighting Hideo Tokoro at
Yeah.
Ryzen 40 on New Year's
Yep.
Eve. I love Ryzen events, dude, on New Year's Eve. I'll never forget
It's a Bellator Rising event.
Yeah.
Is that the Bellator versus Ryzen event?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that card has actually got some good fights on it already.
And if you don't stay up all night long and watch every second of every minute of every one of those fights too, not a real
You're not
fight
a real.
fan.
100% not a real fight fan.
Rudy, you're right. The rising events on New Year's, bro.
Yep.
Fire.
The
That's
best.
where the real fight fan stuff comes from, is those all-nighter Ryzen mixed with Bellator, mixed with
Yeah.
Pride.
3 other shows in one night. Yeah. You got to do it the real fight fan way.
Mm-hmm.
But we heard about some boxing news. Apparently there is a huge fucking fight finally about to happen. Ryan
Garcia versus Davis.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a good fight, man.
I like that one. I like that matchup being called compared to some of the other ones I showed you guys.
And in Vegas too. It's proper. It's in Vegas.
You have two guys that are fucking quick on their feet and fast hands, and they know how to fucking move. It's gonna be amazing.
Call it
Very
out.
proper.
You know, decision or finish.
I say finish Ryan Garcia. He's gonna finish this fight.
Which
I
round?
never. Fuck. 8.
Yeah, it'll be a banger, man. It'll go at least
Mhm.
5. I got Ryan Garcia for sure.
Yeah,
It's
for
gonna be
sure.
very
I got
quick
Ryan
punching. It's
Garcia.
gonna be like you're gonna have to slow it down on replay, like just slow down.
It's gonna be a fast-paced fight, man.
Oh, yeah.
These two guys, putting these two guys together, that's amazing. Amazing.
Boxing knows they
This
got
makes
to
more
book these
sense than the
matchups.
next Tyson Fury fight. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, well, there's very few boxing matches that are the real deal, but this indeed is one. Tyson Fury, of course, he is the GOAT, but yeah, boxing knows they had to put this one together while they can, and do not wait 5 years later and try to book it. So it's kind of leading towards that path, but we are going to see it. They're both in their prime. Heard of it today, but yeah, it's in Vegas. We haven't heard a date or a venue, but I'm assuming it's going to be the T-Mobile Arena, which is proper. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And to close out the outside the cage news, this is a very cool stat. It's MMA history. It seems like it's been 20 years, 15 years ago, but today is the 10-year anniversary of Carlos Condit against George St. Pierre.
Wow.
I can't believe it's
Holy
been
shit,
10 years.
really?
It seems a lot longer. Yeah.
10 years
Man,
ago?
Yeah.
That's it?
that was a
Yep.
good fight.
That was.
That was a really good fight. And real quick, speaking of boxing, BKFC signed former boxing world champion Austin No Doubt Trout to a promotional deal.
Yeah, New Mexico guy.
That's
fucking
fun.
awesome.
Still smashing people in BKFC for sure. That's a good
Oh,
signing
yeah.
for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very good signing.
But yeah, that's a perfect note on the topic of New Mexico fighters, because yeah, like I mentioned, George St. Pierre, Carlos Condit, golden years, of course. But man, I remember meeting Carlos Condit like shortly after that fight. I couldn't help but just think like, motherfucker was 2 punches away from taking away the GOAT out, and incredible,
Uh-huh.
like one of the best fucking title fights. Like
I
he
almost
went
had a
into
heart
enemy
attack that night, I tell you that much. Fuck.
going into enemy territory, just like you always have to do to fight the legendary George. But Carlos came the closest. Hashtag Johnny Hendricks, fucking deer meat. But yeah,
Carlos and GSP should have had a rematch for sure, because he came that damn close.
yeah. And when are they gonna finally put Carlos Condit in the UFC Hall of Fame? Is what I'm waiting for too.
Probably
They
next
need
year.
to do it soon.
Probably next year, the
It
year
needs
after.
to be soon.
Next 2 years.
I think him and Diego should go in at the same time, possibly too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that at all.
So UFC, if you're listening out there, Natural Born Killer and the Nightmare,
Hell yeah.
that'll happen. Yep.
Well, guys, we got 15 more minutes. We got to do the quick picks for the fight card that's coming up. Let's just do the main card.
Let's talk about the poster real quick, bro. This is one that I actually like. It's not bad, man. I like it.
I do too, man.
I'll give it an 8.
When I saw it today, I was like, you know what? It's actually a pretty good fight poster.
Yeah, I like it.
I really dig it. It's pretty clean. I like the lettering. I like the way these guys are back to back. It's pretty good, man. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay. I'll give it 8.5.
A 6.4.
You and your low damn scores on these fight posters, man.
Hey, it's
Really?
David's never satisfied, honestly. He's never satisfied.
They've been doing a little extra on some of them, but this one, yeah, it's proper for the fight. For a fight night, it's good, and a 6 on my end should be good, right?
Yeah, should be. Pretty.
I give it an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it is an early start. It does start at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's 11 o'clock in the morning my time. So it is going to end early, which is pretty cool. I'm glad. Get to spend some time with the family that week, that Saturday night. Going to be live on ESPN Plus. Like I said, this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It is a 12-bout fight card. Could be less coming tomorrow on the weigh-ins or Saturday at before the event starts. Usually what happens, some of these fighters just can't make it, on these events. So just like last week. Right on. Well, let's start from the top, from the main event, and then, or actually, we'll start from the main event opener and then work our way up. We have Jack Della Maddalena versus Danny Roberts. What do you guys think about this one, man?
Yeah, I'm very interested in this fight. Big following for Jack Maddalena. I think he's a future contender. Danny Roberts is a dope striker. I think they got the matchups right here. I mean, Danny Roberts ranking-wise a little ways out, but this is a matchup to see where Maddalena, kind of makes that next step because Roberts is a veteran.
Basically in the mix.
Yeah, somebody gets knocked out, man. I think Danny Roberts, probably fights, it'll go to the second round. Jack Maddalena has been a motherfucker, man. Like, I don't think Danny Roberts gets out of this fight in a decision in any type of way. So, Maddalena for the finish, for Dan.
Dude, Maddalena's been finishing fighters since 2016, bro. He's been undefeated since 2016, and most of them, his win doesn't even pass the second round.
Yeah, I didn't know this smack to shit too, but yeah. Before we move on to the main card too, there's a fight too that's buried on the prelims that kind of Jennifer Maya, she just fought for the belt, right? Like against Marina Monroe. That's a good fight, man. I like that matchup. Jennifer Maya, Marina, that was low key. I'm looking at the card now. Like I thought it was on the main card, but it's the second to the last of the prelims, moving into the main. But yeah, that's an interesting fight. I like that on the prelims because the prelims are kind of
the shitty, bro. The only good fight on there that I think is going to be Ricky Turcios, Kevin Natividad.
Yeah. Well, I gotta pick my boy Fernie Garcia, man. I like that cat. LFA guy. He lost his fight his first fight in the UFC, but he's a badass, man. Badass fighter.
Yeah, Marina Monroe's got a surprisingly good record too at 11-3. So this whoever wins that fight is up there in the top of 125. It's a very slim division, so that's why I pointed that fight out. But yeah, starting off the main card with Maddalena Roberts, very damn proper. Moving on to the second fight of the main card, I think we're in store for another finish with Muslim Salikov against Andre Fiallo. So Fiallo, another beast. Salikov, styles make fights, and I think this is a perfect styles matchup to produce a finish. And I'm gonna go Fiallo, man. I know he didn't look good last time. Jake Matthews beat him up last time, right?
Matthews pieced him up, bro. That's the best I've ever seen Jake Matthews. I'm excited to see that dude in the cage again. But I think he took a piece of Fiallo's soul that night. I'm going with Salikov, dude. I think Salikov is going to smoke him.
I think so too, man. I think Salikov is just going to fucking go in there and just wreck him in the first round.
Yeah, this fight definitely has a finish written all over it. Whether it's first or second, I don't think the judges are needed in this fight at all. So, and as far as the next fight, judges probably not needed again because it's Chase Sherman against
Oh my
Walter.
God, dude.
Heavyweight fight, and you know what heavyweight's doing there. We know Chase Sherman's tough as nails too, and he just keeps on coming. Like he just comes back. Like we think he's gone, and he's right back in there. Like it seems like this guy fights like once a month.
Wasn't he supposed to fight like Olenek or some shit last week or the week before that?
That's right.
Only got it released though.
Well, he was together. I think this fight wasn't originally booked. I think Sherman was supposed to fight somebody else.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight somebody else, man. And Acosta just fought recently, man. A week ago, he beat Jared Vandera. They both defeated. They're both of them. Their last win was against Jared Vandera.
Huh.
Yeah, the UFC's got like high hopes on Waldo Cortez, and this is a big test for him, I guess. I guess Chase is just the man to step up and say fuck it, because I believe he's cut for sure in this fight after he loses. He's been cut like twice before. He's coming back.
I wanted to see Salsa Boy fight Usman's brother. That would have been more interesting. But I guess they want to give him a sacrifice. Chase Sherman.
So Chase was supposed to fight Josh Parisian.
Yeah, there you go. He used to fight Parisian. That's right.
So that's the new thing. UFC, the sacrificial lamb on the card, and it has to be Chase Sherman.
Yeah, Chase Sherman is gonna get smoked.
Well,
I feel sorry for him, and he's gonna get cut. Waldo Cortez Acosta is gonna he's gonna knock him out.
watch Sherman go in there and just bust him up for 3 rounds and win the decision. That's why I definitely won't pick him, because he's total Gikta. Like, amazing how this guy's such a Gikta. So I can't trust picking Chase Sherman in any fight, but he can fight his ass off, and maybe he gives Cortez all he can handle and takes him to the gates of hell. You never know. But I think talking pink slip material, very possibly Ion Cutelaba against Kennedy and Cheku. I think Cutelaba, anytime he fights, we know you can get past the first round. You got a chance against this guy, but I don't know, man. He's another Gikta that I cannot pick in this fight, because anytime I pick him, he fucks me. So I'm going Kennedy and Cheku, finishes him in the second round.
Yep, I agree.
Rudy?
Yeah, I think Cheku's gonna take him out, man. I think he's gonna finish. It's gonna be hard, but I think it is gonna happen.
I don't think so, bro.
Probably in the 5th round or the 4th round.
I think Cutelaba will.
I mean, the 3rd round, 5th round.
I think Cutelaba will win.
Ooh,
Yeah.
going against us.
Yeah, bro. I don't know, man. And Cheku, he doesn't do very well against wrestlers, man.
Cutelaba's got Eagle SC just sprinkled all around his name, though, at this point right now. That's correct. Yeah, he's perfect for. Well, actually, he's perfect for PFL too. But I could easily see him going to Eagle. But I think PFL is kind of a little bit more premier organization once you are in fact released from the UFC or Cup. So he easily could be chiseled into a goddamn PFL title fight, after this fight. So I have to say he doesn't lose. But main event time, Derek Lewis, he's fought them all. He's knocked nearly all of them out, except for a guy named Sergey Spivak. Kind of surprising matchup, but ranking-wise, they are pretty close. Spivak coming off wins over, who did he beat? He beat Greg Hardy, right? Not long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, he finished didn't he?
Yeah, he's on a 2-5 winning streak. Derek Lewis, I think he knows his back is against the wall in this fight, but I don't think he should feel that way as far as him, losing the UFC contract. I think the UFC will keep Derek Lewis around. They like him. He's one of the more higher paid guys too, like low key. So he's in a main event on a fight night. Derek Lewis always delivers an exciting bout, and he's usually in a main event. So it's very proper. He's in a main event again. I don't know about this fight. I'm skeptical about picking Spivak, but Derek Lewis gasses, man. Get past second round, third round, some body shots. Spivak. Yeah. You guys
I don't
think?
see it going
I-
all 5 rounds. I don't see
I think
lasting 5 rounds.
I have a feeling Spivak is going to take him to deep waters and tire his ass out and ground and pound him. I mean, Derek Lewis, for being such a big guy, he's easily taken down. You can, and it shows in his previous fights when you spot the guys that can take down people. I think Spivak is going to be one of those guys that can take down Derek Lewis, keep him down there, and work his ground and pound because this guy's fucking tall. He's got the reach. And I have a feeling that Spivak, that's what he's going to do. He's probably going to take him after the third round, gas him out, take him down, use the ground and pound, or even try to slip a rear naked choke. I do see a finish probably in the fourth round, early fourth round with Spivak.
Yeah,
He just has to be away from Lewis's hands, man, because Lewis can one punch,
And get like that.
you are fucking out. So he's got to work him. He's got to get Derek Lewis to throw those, baseball punches and fucking just tire his ass out. Just tire him out, wrestle him, put him against the cage, use that Greco-Roman style wrestling on him. And, I have a feeling that Spivak has that game plan, knowing how Derek Lewis fights. The way he gets his
belly. A lot of body shots.
Yeah, a lot of body shots, a lot of leg kicks. Just chop him down, man. Just work him.
Lewis can't finish early. He's fucked.
Yeah,
if Lewis can't get an early finish, he's fucked.
For sure. For sure.
If it gets out of the second round, I favor Spivak for sure, 100%, like you said, Rob. But Derek Lewis, I picked against him the last few fights because they put him in his backyard in a fought in Houston, and I never pick guys fighting in their backyard. A lot of pressure, man. And Derek Lewis kind of folded in his last two. This one might be a refreshing one where he just goes in there and we see signs of the old Derek Lewis where he just smashes somebody out in under two. But if he can't get it in under two, he's doomed. He's
got 2 rounds to finish. If not, he's fucked.
Yeah, it will happen.
Really?
I can't pick against my boy Lewis, even though the likelihood of him losing is very great. Sergey Spivak, dude, he's a badass, bro. I mean, the last couple fights, he went out and defeated Augusto Sakai, ground and pound. He beat Greg Hardy in the first round. He lost to Tom Aspinall. So, that kind of tells me, bro, I mean, if Lewis could catch him early, Spivak, he's going to go out, bro. He's going to go out. But I don't know, man. I don't see that happening. But again, I'm not picking against Derek Lewis. I'm going Derek Lewis first round KO.
Okay.
Hey, we've been on a first round, our main event, 5-round war for how many cards straight now? It's like a 5-round deal. So this one is highly unlikely, but you never know. Spivak by snoozer, 5 rounds. You never know. Throw that out there just to throw it out in the universe.
Oh, that's hilarious. Right on, guys. Well, time did catch up to us, man. This was an awesome. Yeah, man, this was an awesome episode. Episode 151. Like I said, we're not going to have a show next Thursday. It is going to be a holiday week. We all are going to be spending time with our families, except for Mark Ambu Miller. He is not going to spend time with his family because he's a Canadian.
Because he's an alien. Keep the pyramids.
Canadian.
Oh, Canadian. I thought you said an alien.
Yeah. He's Canadian. Does not celebrate Thanksgiving. He's racist.
I do. I just celebrated last month.
He is racist because he doesn't celebrate American Thanksgiving. You are in a fucking American podcast. I'm just joking, bro.
What the fuck?
I'm just fucking with you, bro. No, for real though. We're not gonna have a podcast next week because we're all gonna be with our families, and it is Thanksgiving week. So, but enjoy the fights. It's gonna be a badass event. And other than that, thank you all for the support. David, close out the show, brother.
Indeed, episode number 152. Like Rob said, we're out next week. Y'all enjoy your happy Thanksgiving with your family. It's that time of year. If you want all the latest combat sports news, you know where to go around the world, around the clock. It's fightbookmma.com. To listen to our previous episodes in any podcast platform, wherever you get your podcast, look us up, Fightbook MMA, sitting ringside. Like, subscribe, share. You can catch us here every Thursday, except next week, Thanksgiving. But we will be back soon. For myself, Dave Rodriguez, Roberto Villa, the boss, Mark Andrew Miller up north, Rudy Lara, producer at hand. Another episode in the books. We are sitting ringside. Enjoy the fights. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Good shit, guys.